welcome into the studio a childhood friend of mine who has been through it and back, Brian Bessie. Hi, Brian.
How you doing, Courtney?
Good. Brian and I have known each other for a long time, and I had no idea what Brian was going through until a Facebook post showed up and what had happened to your house in the Central West End.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, my house seems to be the poster child for the storm right now on all the news channels. It took the brunt of the hit of the tornado Friday around 3 p.m.
And so you've been dealing with the cleanup. You're, right there in the thick of it. You're still at your home, but you're staying in the carriage house behind the home.
I am.
And you were at home when it happened. Tell us, you guys have to hear about.
Well, and just to give people a little, like Brian said, they're the poster child. You've seen this. If you've only seen one picture from the tornado damage, you've seen the picture of Brian's house. Monday morning, Courtney goes, "Oh, look at my friend Brian's house," and I'm like, "That house?" Because it had already been all over
all the national
social
news
media.
and
It's the White House, beautiful home, and
With the columns
with
and
and 3 stories, right? Yeah. Or it was.
It was 3 stories,
yeah,
correct.
And that's the one. That's the one. So you've seen it, and I want to apologize too because Brian already been through so much, and then I brought lentils into the studio. So you don't need that, and that's on me. I apologize.
And I appreciate that.
the lentil thing.
But truth be told, I'm blessed. I survived the storm. It was a crazy event. There were no sirens. There was no notification that it was happening. And
sunny outside.
it was beautiful when I was looking out the window until I walked to the back of the house. I figured I got a notification on my phone and thought, well, I'll just go check on the dog. And when I walked to the back of the house, you could see out the back windows facing south. It was much darker. And I got the dog in, so the dog was safe. But shortly after that, my tree in the backyard looked like the Grinch had pulled it down and snapped it, and the branches just started flying everywhere. And it was. It was.
So where are you going then? So you're in your house. You see this. What in your head are you like? Where should I go? I mean, it's that fast.
Get out of the way of the windows. They started blowing into the house. I actually called my mom to try to get her to some sort of safety, and it was even too late for her, to be perfectly honest with you. So I really just tried to stay in the central part of the house. I would actually walk towards the front, facing the north-facing side, and I could see just debris flying all over the front of the house. And then ultimately, it only lasted, I would say, maybe 45 seconds to a minute. It seemed like it was forever, but it really wasn't that long. And then I saw the front of my house pretty much get launched into my front yard, the street, my neighbor's yard, and it was over. It happened that quickly. So you really didn't have a lot of time to process it. I think it was more in shock. As to what was happening, as far as not being scared. I really didn't have that feeling until afterwards. I was like, wow, I just really survived this.
What did it sound like?
So that's the interesting thing. Everyone talks about you hear a train, and I didn't hear a train. The only real noise I heard was the whistling sound of the wind coming through. It's an old house, 125-year-old house. Coming through the cracks of the windows or the cracks of the door frames. That was the only sound I heard. I didn't hear bricks. I didn't hear trees. I really didn't even hear the wind. It was actually quite peaceful, except for that sound of the wind coming through the cracks.
Wow. I mean, and then, so it happens.
Were you the only one home?
I was the only one home. Thank God.
Yeah, so you go out, then I think you go outside.
So I went outside. Like I said, this happened around 3 o'clock. I have an 11-year-old son that goes to New City School, which is at the other corner. And so I had to go get him from school. And that was an endeavor all to itself because of all the trees that were laying across our street, Westminster Place, the sidewalk. It took a little bit, but I was able to get there. The school did a phenomenal job in getting the kids down into the basement. They were protected, and they seemed to really in good spirits as far as, because they went through all this as well as we did. And when my son came out of the school and we were walking home, I mean, he was just shocked at the devastation. And anyone that's been down there knows. you can't really understand it. The pictures don't do it really any justice, and until you actually see it, it's mind blowing, the destruction that we just experienced.
Yeah, I can't even imagine how the past almost week now has been for you. And how do you even wrap your brain around where to start? Where do you start? What do you do?
Well, it's interesting. One of my neighbors, I even think while the storm was going on, was calling tree services. He was getting himself a hotel room. He was much more progressive than I was in any of this. But you really, you call your insurance company, you try to get your claim number as quickly as possible, and you assess, the situation you're really in. It took a lot of people some time to really see the damage just because of all the trees and everything that was in our way. You really couldn't see a lot of these homes. So for myself, it was pretty obvious. I was dealing with something much bigger than a lot of the other people. They just didn't know until the debris was removed. And man, I want to give credit to all of the people that came and helped us take down these trees and clean the streets and our yards. And we're almost done with that. I think there's a few more houses. I have a few more trees that have to come down. Those people were phenomenal.
And they were there immediately.
It was unbelievable. And they were there like all night long.
These are the helpers that Mr. Rogers talks about. Look for the helpers, and they just go in like, I don't know what I can do, but I have equipment.
The people that came and just wanted to help. It was wow, what a community we really live in. That was so meaningful and appreciated by all of us that live in this community. It's heartwarming to know that humanity is still there.
And for a lot of people, food is love. And so all of the restaurants that have come in and provided food, we've been trying to highlight a lot of them on the show because...
Yeah, they deserve it. And Snarf's was one of them. I'd like to highlight them also. Salt and Smoke was another one that came and donated sandwiches, and they couldn't have done it at a better time. It was unsolicited, and it was just there was no expectation. It just came out of nowhere, and they were like angels. Courtney and I grew up over in Belleville, Illinois. Art on the Square was this last weekend, and I have to give credit to the people of Belleville and Art on the Square, and they donated all of the extra food that they had for the artists, and that went a long way in feeding probably 100 people. The workers, the families that live on their street. So I want to thank them as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. And I know Jenny, who's the new mayor,
correct,
spearheaded that effort.
Yes, she did.
Which is awesome. All right, so we talked a couple times this week, and I felt bad because I was like, well, I can't really meet you for coffee. I have an appointment. And he's like, okay, well, I go, I'll call you after that. I go, I want to be honest. I have a hair appointment.
With our good friend Aletha.
That's right. That's right. But we did talk yesterday because every day it changes for you.
Correct.
And we did talk yesterday about ways that we can let our community of listeners know how to help. And I'm sure this weekend's going to be a big push for help because people have more time on their hands. They're going to be off work. They can maybe go shopping. I think, during the work week, it might be hard, and we really didn't know what people needed. But you said you've talked to your neighbors at length, and really the focus should be on, north, the devastation there.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we're blessed. We have the ability to, one, take care of ourselves. We have insurance on our homes. We have a network of people, and we have a very densely populated area, and people came out of the woodwork to help us. But truthfully, the people up north that really suffered a lot of the devastation, they're the ones that are in real need right now. And I really appreciated you reaching out to me and asking. And when I polled our neighbors, and that was everything. That's exactly what they had all said. We can take care of ourselves. We need to really focus on everyone up north.
And the city and county have put together lists of the things that are most at need, and I'm going to post this on the blog today. But they need tarps because rain's coming in.
Yep.
Plywood, 2x4s, wood screws, exterior caulk and caulk guns. That makes me nervous saying. Tools like hammers and tape and flashlights and wheelbarrows and drills and reciprocating saws, utility knives, but also like batteries, tents, ponchos, umbrellas, paper towels, cleaning products, bleach, first aid kits, water. Water, you can never get enough water.
Correct.
How many times have you or your wife been to Costco in the past 6 days?
Yeah, I mean, I've been twice, and I know a lot of my neighbors have been as well. And we've really, taken care of all the people coming to help us. Yeah, it's been amazing. I really want to give a group that came with an army of people, and it was a group from Forsyth School that came and literally helped me move a 3-story home in 2 days without any preparation, amongst many others. But this was a group I had no idea, never met them, and they came 2 days in a row and helped me get moved out and save a lot of my personal items. So my gratitude goes out to them.
And if you want to know where to go, lots of places are collecting these items and are going to take them. And I know that tonight you can bring any of these items I just mentioned to South Broadway Athletic Club all day on Thursday. That is a headquarters for taking these donations. But we just want to help as much as we possibly can, and can't imagine. I know you don't want to really talk about it, but what happens to your home? Does it get...
So we had a structural engineer come last night with our insurance adjuster, and I have to be honest, we've been very fortunate with the communication with our insurance, and I mean, this is very challenging for everyone and even these companies, but the next steps are to get the report back from the structural engineer, and we'll make the determination from there. I would love to see that home rebuilt.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's historic. And we love it as a family. My children love that neighborhood. We want to stay there. So, whatever happens, I'm just blessed that we're here to even talk about it, truthfully.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you taking time to come in and be on the air with us. I really do.
And I appreciate you inviting me. Thank you.
I really love you a lot.
I love you too.
Yeah, we're thinking about everybody that's dealing with this devastation and hope to pass on information as it comes in so people can help. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Courtney.